common thought, Henry Timrod. Somewhere on this earthly planet in the dust of flowers to be, and the dewdrop in the sunshine sleeps a solemn day for me. At this wakeful hour of midnight I behold the dawn and mist, hear a sound of sobbing through the darkness, hissed, oh hissed. In a dim and murky chamber I am breathing life away. Someone draws the curtain softly in the watch for broadening day. As it purples in the zenith, as it brightens on the lawn, there's a hush of death about me and a whisper, he's gone. A sacred concert by Henry Timrod. Faint falls the gentle voice of prayer and the wild sounds that fill the air. Yet, Lord, we know that voice is heard, not less than if a throne is stirred. Thine ear for tender one is caught, if you but bend the knee in thought. No cold song that shakes the sky floats farther than the Christian sigh. And all the darkness of the land can hide the lifted eye and hand, beneath the clenching conflict sheaths, to make we hear our cries for peace. A summer shower by Henry Timrod. Welcome, rain or tempest, from yon airy powers. We have languished for the many sultry hours, and over sick and vain the pines with all her flowers. What have you been doing in the burning June, riding with Virginia, visiting the moon, or sleeping on the ice amid an Arctic noon? Bringing with them jewels from the sunset lands, what are these they scatter with such lavish hands? There are no brighter gems than Colander sands. Pattering on the gravel, dropping from the eaves, glancing on the grass and tinkling on the leaves, a flash of liquid pearls is flung from fairy sieves. Meanwhile, unreluctant, earth like the air lies. Listen, is it fancy that beneath sighs, as it warm lips receives the largeness of skies? Jove, it is Kenneth and those crystal rills, this worldwide tremor as the pulse that thrills to God's life infused through veins of velvet hills. Wait for jealous sunshine, break not on their bliss. Earth will blush and roses, many a day for this, and bend a brighter brow band of a burning kiss. A Trifle by Henry Timrod. I know not why, even to me my song seems sweet when read to thee. Perhaps in whisper pleasure lies, I read my thoughts within thine eyes, and so I fancy that my art may sink as deeply as thy heart. Perhaps I love to make my words sing around me like so many birds, or maybe they are only sweet as they seem offerings at thy feet. Or haply, Lily, when I speak, I think perchance they touch thy cheek, or with the yet more precious bliss dine the red lips in a kiss. Each reason here I cannot tell, or all perhaps may solve the spell, and if she watch what I am by, Lily may deeper see than I. Charleston by Henry Timrod. Calm as the second summer which precedes the first fall of the snow, and broad sunlight of heroic deeds, the city bites the foe. As yet, behind their ramparts stern and proud, her bolted thunder sleep, like Sumter, like a battlement cloud, looms o'er the solemn deep. No kelp frowns from lofty cliff or scar to guard the holy strand, at Mowbray halts and leisure dogs of war above the level sand. And down the dunes a thousand guns lie couched, unseen beside the flood, like tigers in some orient jungle crouched, that wait and watch for blood. Meanwhile through streets still echoing with trade walk grave and thoughtful men, whose hands may one day wield the patriarch's blade as lightly as the pen. Maidens with such eyes as would grow dim over the bleeding hound seem each one to have caught the strength of him whose sword she sadly bound. Was girt with oath and garrisoned at home, day patient following day, old Charleston looks from roof and spire and dome across her tranquil bay. Ships through 100 foes from Saxon lands and spicy Indian ports bring Saxon steel and iron to her hands and summer to her courts. But still, along yon dim Atlantic line, yon hostile smoke creeps like a harmless mist above a brine from some frail floating oak. Shall the spring dawn, and she still clad and smiles, with an unscathed brow, rest in the strong arms of the palm-crowned isles, as fair and free as now? We know not. In the temple of the fates God has inscribed her doom, and all untroubled in the faith, she waits the triumph of a tomb. Graves of Confederate Dead by Henry Timrod. Sleep sweetly in your humble graves, sleep, Memphis, fallen corse, where yet no marble column graves with pilgrim yet to pause. And seeds of laurel in the earth, the blossom of your fame is gone, and summer waiting for its birth, shafts in the stone. Meanwhile, behalf the tardy years, which keep in trust the storied tombs, behold, your sisters bring their tears in these memorial blooms. Small tributes, but your shades will smile more proudly on these refts today than when some cannon-molded pyre shall overlook the bay. Stop, angels, high from the skies. There is no holier spot of ground, in their defeated vale lies the morning beauty crown. Hark to the shouting wind by Henry Timrod. Hark to the shouting wind, hark to the flying rain, and I care not though I never see a bright blue sky again. There are thoughts in my breast today that are not for human speech, but I hear them in the driving storm roar upon the beach. Out the vivid ship that I watch for blinding brine, or wind for the sweep of land and sea, or sea for the voice like wine. Shout on, thou pitiless wind, to the frightened and flying rain. I care not though I never see a calm blue sky again. Hymn sung at an anniversary of the Asylum of Orphans at Charleston by Henry Timrod. We scarce God could lisp thy name, and those who loved us passed away, and left us but their love to claim, with but an infant strength to pray. Or gaze to refuge and that shrine in which we learn to know thy ways. Father, the fatherless are thine. I will not spurn the orphan's praise. Yet hear a single cry of pain, Lord, whilst we dream in quiet beds. The summer sun and winter rain beat still on many homeless heads. Ours very earth, we know, young outcasts roam with waste and wave, and little hands are clasped in woe above some tender mother's grave. Your winds keep every storm aloof, and kiss away the tears they weep. Your skies that make their only roof look gently on their houseless sleep. And thou, our friend and father, find a home to shield the helpless youth, dear hearts to love, sweet ties to bind, and guide and guard them in the truth. I saw, or I dreamed I saw, by Henry Timrod. I saw, or I dreamed I saw her sitting lone, a neck bent like a swan's, her brown eyes frown on some sweet poem, his, I think, who sings the organ of a harpless mode. The rings flashed from the dainty fingers which held back her beautiful blonde hair. Would these black locks of mine own were mingled with it now, whose warm lips were pressed against the brow, and as she turned the page, methought I heard, hush could it be, a faintly murmured word, for so softly dwelt on, such a smile played on her brow, and wreathed the lip the while, my heart leaped to hear it, and a flame burned on my forehead. Sarah, 'twas my name. Love's Logic by Henry Timrod. If I ask thee for a kiss, ask no more than these sweet breeze. The father's title to the bliss steals every minute at his ease. And yet how placid is thy brow, it seems to woo the bold cares, when now he takes his kiss, and all sorts of freedoms with thy dress. Or I dare thy hand to touch, have nothing pressed its palm before. A flower, I'm sure, hath done as much, and some senseless diamond more. It strikes me, love, the very rings, no sparkling on that hand of thine, could tell some truly startling things, if they had hands or touch like mine. Indeed, indeed, I do not know of all that thou hast power to grant, a boon for which I could not show some pretty precedent extent. Suppose, for instance, I should clasp thus so and thus thy slender waist, I would not hold within my grasp more than this loosened zone embraced. Put the anger from thine eyes, or shut them with the still must frown, whose lids despise your garish guise, can bring a timely darkness down. Then, if in that convenient night my lips should press thy dewy mouth, the touch should be so soft, so light, thou'lt fancy me this gentle self. Retirement by Henry Timrod. My gentle friend, I hold no creed so false as that which dares to teach that we are born for battle only, and that in this life a soul, if it would burn with star-like power, must needs forsooth be kindled by the sparks struck from the shock of clashing human hearts. There's a wisdom that grows up in strife, and one, I like it best, that sits at home, and learns its lessons of a thoughtful ease. So come, a lonely house awaits we, where no praise, no blame shall reach us, save what love of knowledge for itself shall wake at times in our own bosoms come, and we will build a wall of quiet thought and gentle books betwixt us and the hard and bitter word. Sometimes, though we need not be anchorites, a distant friend shall cheer us through the post, or some gazette, of course, partisan, shall bring us pleasant news of pleasant things. When, twisted into graceful nets, each ancient joke shall blaze with genuine flame to light our pipes and candles. But the wars, whether words or weapons, should be deaf, so it twain shall pass away the time, even as a pair of happy lovers, who alone within some quiet garden nook, with a clear night of stars above their heads, just hear, atwixt their kisses and their talk, the tumult of tempest rolling through a chain of neighbouring mountains. They awhile pause to admire flesh that only shows the smile upon their faces, but full soon turn with a quick, glad impulse, and perhaps a conscious while that brings them closer yet, to dwell with their own fond hearts, and play with the sweet flowers that blossom at their feet. Second Love by Henry Timrod. Could I reveal the secret joy their presence always with it brings, memories so strangely waked of long-forgotten things? The love, the hope, the fear, the grief, which with that voice come back to me, I would forgive the impassionate gaze so often turned on me. It was indeed with early love, but foretaste of a second one, the soft light of the morning star before the morning sun. The same dark beauty in her eyes, the same blond hair and placid brow, the same deep meaning, quiet smile were balanced on me now. She might have been, she was no more, and what a priskin hope could make, a dear presentment of thee, I love but for thy sake. Song composed for Washington's birthday by Henry Timrod. 100 years and more ago a little child was born. Today with pomp of martial show we hear listen a little more. O guessed that poor infant wept upon a mother's knee, a nation from the century stepped, as weak and frail as he, who saw the future on his brow upon that happy morn. We are a mighty nation now because a child was born. To him and to his spirit's scope, besides the glorious home, we owe but what we have and hope, a more than Greek and Rome. Storm and Calm by Henry Timrod. Sweet are these kisses of the south, as drop from woman's rosiest mouth, and tender are those azure skies, and this world's tenderest pair of eyes. Ah, when of such influence, thought is too often lost in sense, and action faltering as we thrill, sinks in the unnerved arms of will. Awake for stormy north and blast, the subtle spells around us cast, beat from our limbs these flowy chains, with the sharp scourges of her reins. Bring with thee from thy polar cave all the wild songs of wind and wave, of toppling berg and grinding foe, and the dread avalanche of snow. Wrap us in arctic night and clouds, yell like a fiend amid the shrouds of some slow sinking vessel, when he hears the shrieks of drowning men. Blend in the mighty voice whatever of danger, terror, and despair thou hast encountered in thy sweep across the land or the deep. Pour in our ears all notes of woe, that as these very moments flow, rise like a harsh discordant psalm, while we lie here in tropic calm. Sting our weak hearts with bitter shame, bear us along we like flame, and prove that even to destroy, more godlike, may be then to toy, and rust or rot in idle joy. The Messenger Rose by Henry Timrod. If you have seen a richer glow, pray tell me where your roses blow. Look a cold-leaved and mark these spots, red stained red and crimson clots, like a sweet lip bitten through in a peak. There, where that hue is spilt in drops, some fair thing half gashes the azure of its wing, or thence perhaps they mourn, plucked the splinters of a fawn. Rosa, make thy bliss my care, and his dusky hair shall burn this coming night, with even a richer crimson light. To requite me thou shalt tell, what I might not say as well, how I love her, how in brief on a certain crimson leaf in my bosom is a debt, written deeper crimson yet. If she wonder what it be, what she guessed I foresee, tell her that I dated, pray, the first sweet night in May. The Past by Henry Timrod. Today's most trivial act may hold the seed of future fruitfulness, of future dearth. I cherish always every word and deed, the simplest record of thyself of worth. If thou hast ever slighted one old thought, beware lest grief enforce the truth at last. The time must come when thou shalt be taught the valiant beauty of the past, not merely as a warn and a guide, a voice behind thee, sounding to the strife, but something never to be put aside, a part and parcel of the present life. Not as a distant and darkened sky, for which the stars peep and the moonbeams glow, but a surrounding atmosphere whereby we live and breathe, sustained in pain and woe. A shadowy land, the joy and sorrow kiss, each still to each corrective and relief, where dim delights are brightened into bliss, and nothing wholly perishes but grief. Ah me, not dies, no more than spirit dies, and a chance like death is clothed with wings, a serious angel with untraced eyes, looking too far off in celestial things. The Rosebuds by Henry Timrod. Yes, in the dainty ivory shrine, those three pallid buds, a twine enfold away a dream divine. One night they lay upon her breast, the love have made his fragrant nest, enthroned me as a lifelong guest. Near the chaste heart they seemed to me types of her fair flowers to be, rosebuds of a human tree. Buds which shall bloom beside my hearth, and there beheld a richer worth, than all the kingliest gems of earth. Ah me, the pathos of a thought I had not deemed she wanted aught, yet with a tender charm it wrought. I know not if she marked the flame that lit my cheek, but not from shame, and one sweet image dimly came. Was a murmur soft and low, white folds of cambric parted slow, and the fingers played with snow. How far my fancy dared to stray, a lover's reference needs not say, enough the vision passed away. Passed in the mist of happy tears, but something in my tranced ears hummed like the future in the seas. The Two Armies by Henry Timrod. Two armies stand enrolled beneath the banner of a stale wreath. One facing battle, blight and blast, through twice 100 fields has passed, its deeds against the ruffian foe, stream, valley, hill and mountain know, that the wind that sweeps the land goes glory-laden from the strand. The other, with a narrower scope, yet led by not less grand a hope, have won perhaps as proud a place, and wears its fame with meeker grace. Wives march benefits glittering sign, fond mothers wear the lovely line, and many a sweetheart hides a blush in the young patriot's generous flush. No breeze of battle ever fanned the colours of a tender band. Its office beside the bed, where throbs some sick or wounded head. It does not court the soldier's tomb, but please the needle and the loom, and by a thousand peaceful deeds supplies a struggling nation's needs. Nor is that army's gentle might unfelt amid the deadly fight. It nurses the son's, the husband's hand, it points the lover's fearless brand. It thrills the languid, warms the cold, gives even new courage to the bold, and sometimes lifts the veriest clod to its own lofty trust in God. When heaven should blow the drum of peace, and bid this very warfare cease, where several missions nobly done, the triumph grasped and freedom won, both armies for toils at rest, alike may claim the victor's crest, but each shall see its dearest prize gleam softly from the other's eyes. To a captive owl by Henry Timrod. I should be dumb before thee, fevered sage, and gaze upon thy face with solemn awe. I foremost audacious wish to gore the hoarded wisdom of thy learned craw. Art thou, grave bird, so wondrous wise indeed? Speak freely without fear or jest to keep. What is thy moral and religious creed, and what the metaphysics of thy tribe? A poet, curious in birds and brutes, I do not question thee in idle place. What is thy station? What are thy pursuits? Doubtless thou hast thy pleasures. What are they? Or is't the one to muse and mouse at once, entice the prey with airs of meditation, and with the unvarying habits of dunce to din in solemn depths of contemplation? There may be much, the world at least says so, behind that ponderous brow and thoughtful gaze, yet such a great philosopher should know it is by no means wise to think always. And bird, despite the meditative air, out thy stock of wit but poultry pelf, thou shouldst that same grave respect everywhere, and wouldst look thoughtful, stuffed upon a shelf. I grieve to be so plain, renowned bird, thy fame's a phlegm, and thou an empty fold, and what is more, upon a poet's word, I'd say as much, and thou Minerva's owl. So doth the imposture of those heavy brows, they do not serve to hide thy instinct's base, and thou must be sometimes munching mouse, munching the owl, with less profound a face. Too long, O spirit of storm, by Henry Timrod. Too long, O spirit of storm, while lightning sleeps in its sheath, I am sick to the soul of yon pallid sky and the moveless sea beneath. Come down in thy strength on the deep, whereas dangers wear in life, and waves are still and the skies look fair than in their wildest strife. A friend I knew whose days were as calm as the sky overhead, but one blue morn that was fairest of all, the heart in his bosom fell dead. And they taught him a life while he walked the streets that he walked in youth. A little they guessed the seeming man who was soulless corpse in sooth. Come down in thy strength, O storm, and lash the deep till it raves. I am sick to the soul of that quiet sea which hides 10,000 graves. To Rosa, by Henry Timrod. I took a rosebud from a certain bower, and by its side placed an orange flower, and with a speedwell blended the perfume with the sweet beauty of an apple bloom, and thus 'tis one of the loveliest feast, is spelled a gentle lady's name in sweets. To thee, by Henry Timrod. Draw close the lattice and the door, shut out the very stars above, nor other eyes than mine shall pour upon this thrilling tale of love. As, since the book was opened last, along its dear and sacred text, no other eyes than thine have passed, be mine the eyes that trace it next. Oh, very noble is it wrought, this web of love's divinest light, but not to feed my soul with thought, hang upon the book tonight. I read it only for thy sake, to every page my lips I press, and there your leaves appear to make a signal rustle like thy dress. And so as each blessed page I turn, I seem, with many a secret thrill, to touch a soft white hand, and burn to clasp and kiss it at my will. Oh, if her fancy be so sweet, the shadowy fingers touching mine, how wildly would my pulses beat, if they could feel the beat of thine. To whom? By Henry Timrod. Awake upon a couch of pain, I see a star betwixt the trees. Across yon darkening field of cane comes slow and soft the evening breeze. While curtains' folds are faintly stirred, moving lightly in her rest, I hear the chirrup of a bird that dreameth in some neighboring nest. Last night I took no note of these, how it was past I scarce can say. Was not in prayers to heaven for ease, 'twas not in wishes for the day. Impatient tears and passionate sighs touched as with fire the pulse of pain. I cursed and cursed the wildering eyes that burned as fever in my brain. O blessings in the quiet hour, my thoughts in calmer current flow. She's not conscious of her power, and I've no knowledge of my woe. Perhaps if like yon peaceful star she looked upon my burning brow, she would not pity from afar, and kiss me as the breeze does now. Why silent, Henry Timrod? Why am I silent from year to year? Needs must I sing on these blue March days. What will you say when I tell you here that already I think for a little praise I've paid too dear? For I know not why when I tell my thought it seems as though I fling it away. The charm wherewith a fancy is fraught and secret dies the fleeting lay into which it is wrought. Some butterfly dreams the golden wings, but seldom further from the chrysalis. And thus I retain my loveliest things, the world in its worldliness does not miss what a poet sings.